So Nachamol, I'm at Beis, we're at the Mishnah. The goal, so that's actually a very good goal. If Chanukah's in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, so we'll get to the Mishnah. We'll do another blot. Or maybe we'll even, okay, we'll see where we're holding it, see how long it takes us. Then we'll have a nice chazar and a nice party. So maybe we'll combine the party, Chanukah party. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, Siyat Shemai. I wanted to have a party and then a Chanukah party, but okay.
My daughter's birthday is on Hanukkah, so please make sure to tell my parents. Present.
Yeah, passion. I wanted to have a Chazara party, and then we could have a Hanukkah. Yeah, not on Hanukkah. On Hanukkah, there's too many parties. Before you start, you're maxed out. Okay, let's start with the Mishnah. The Mishnah, the bottom line, Beis. Hopefully, anyone who learned the last Mishnah, even who learned the second half last Mishnah, will see how it's very connected. Hadas HaGazul. Somebody's trying the doors. Baruch Hashem. It's good. The more we change things, it gives people more things to do. During davening, you can try the doors for 10 minutes. This week we can admire the paint for a good half hour. Touch the paint. Yeah, about it. Okay. Hadas HaGazul. Let's go. Hadas HaGazul. A stolen Hadas. V'hayavish. Or a dried out Hadas. What's the halacha? Puzzle. Good evening, Rav David. Shalashira v'shalir nidachas. A Hadas of an Ashira tree, which is the tree that was worshipped by the Zara. Shalir nidachas, which is a tree, which is a city that is condemned to be destroyed. Puzzle is puzzle as well. Nikdam Raishai, if the top is cut off. Nifritzu olav. So by now we know the word nifritzu means ripped off. The olav, the leaves, are ripped off. Oi, or shayahanavav. This is a new case. It's a case specific to Hadas. Shayanavav, anavim are berries. Anavav, the berries are merubais, are more than me'alav, than the leaves. So if you look at Rashi on the word anavav, Rashi says, what are anavav? It's a fruit. Sheboy, shedoi melanav. It's similar to a berry. So it's little growths on the hadas. I'm sure we'll have a picture of this. If you have more berries than leaves, it is possible. And the Mishnah concludes, but ve'im miaton, very interesting, if you pick it off, miat from meaning lessen, if you lessen the berries, kosher, but ve'ein miaton v'yantiv. You're not allowed to do that on Yontif. So, yeah. Look at picture 405. Send it around right over here. You'll see little berries in your hadas. You can pass it around. Let's watch your soda. I think Grad is sometimes on our hadas. Just pass down there. Top left side, top right picture. I got the thing on our adasim, sometimes you'll notice little berries growing. Like teeny little bits, right. So, it's an interesting psal, because it's a psal that can be fixed. A psal that can be fixed is an interesting psal. Okay, but not in Yantif. Why can't you fix it in Yantif? What are some reasons that people would think? What's the malacha? No, I'm not arguing with you. Oh, messing something up. Good. You're right. But maybe there's another thing it might be. You're also fixing something. You're creating a new entity when you fix the hadas. You're making a kosher hadas. So maybe even what I'm pointing out is that maybe even if you could somehow circumvent that it's not the malacha, maybe there's a overwhelming issue. Very good. We had creating a halachic creation is also potentially a problem. Okay, we'll have to get back there. So Tanu Rabbanan, the Gemara begins. Anaf, literally a branch, or I've written in my Gemara, a shoot, eights of a tree, avos. That is, we had that word already. What's avos? Plated, very good. Plated / braided in English. She'anofav, that's the pasuk. And as we had by lulav, we're going to have similar over here, which is we're going to try to define what is a hadas. So the Torah says, anaf, I didn't get there yet. The Torah said, anaf eitz avos. That's a quote, which literally means a shoot of a tree which is braided. Darshins the Gemara, she'anafav, that its shoots, its branches, chayfin, cover over, es eitzoi. It's literally eitzoi is the wood. So it's an entity that covers over the stem. Ve'ezoihu, and what is this? Havi oimer ze hadas. So simply, it's a tree that something covers the branch. The Gemara says, what is a tree that we have part of the tree that covers the branch? That's a hadas. But now the Gemara is going to say there's other trees that the items cover the branch. Ve'ima, but maybe zeta. Maybe it's a zeta, an olive branch. And over here, if you want to go through all the pictures, you'll see all these branches. Says the Gemara, it's true that an olive branch, the leaves cover over the spine. What is it not? Be'inan, you need a voice. Braided, veleka. The olive branch is not braided. Says the Gemara, ve'ima dolva, a different type of tree. I've written down that it's a chestnut tree. Says the Gemara, be'inan anafav, its branches or its leaves, chayfin has to cover as eitzai, the wood. So if you look over here, I'm sure it's going to show us that the chestnut tree, the leaves don't fully, that's over here, that's the dolva. Yeah, it doesn't show, maybe the next one shows the leaves. Yeah, over here. You see, it has big leaves, and it might have 3-pronged leaves, but the leaves don't cover the branches. Okay, we can look at all the beautiful pictures later. Continues the Gemara. Vema hirdaif. Maybe it's a hirdaif. Now, interesting tidbit about the hirdaif that I've written in the side of my Gemara, that I have no clue where it comes from. I'm going to assume a note in our scroll. The hirdaif was the tree that Moshe Rabbeinu threw into the Mei Mara. Moshe Rabbeinu has sweetened the bitter waters. So it's the pasuk. All our extensive Chumash knowledge, we can now profess our ignorance. I'll profess my ignorance. It's a pasuk that he threw in a hirdaif branch. Says the Gemara, and this hirdaif branch checks some of the boxes. Amar Abaye, Dirachel darche noyam vileka. Why not? Because the leaves are prickly. Rava Amar, says Rava, which is interesting. You know what's bothering everyone right now. Another pasuk showing you that everything has to be shalom, has to be peaceful. So what's bothering you? Why last time we only quoted Abaye? Why over here we quote Rava as well? Good kasha. I do not have a good kasha. So I have a little bit of a terror. So Rashi answers the kasha a little bit. What? Yeah.
You say Rashi creates more problems.
1 second. Before we have more problems, first, what does Rashi say? Rashi says, Emes v'shalom ayavoy. And this branch is not. Why? Loi emes v'loi shalom. Why not? Shu asui l'sam hamaves. This branch, this hirdoif tree, is poisonous. So Rashi is learning, and maybe this is why we didn't have Rava before. Because Rashi is learning there's a different problem. Not that it's prickly, is that it's inherently poisonous. Before, when we were talking about the lulav, and it was that you can't hold it, it's because it was painful. So then we quote Abaye's pasuk of what? Now, not only is it prickly, there's another problem. What's the new problem? Is that it's poisonous. Beautiful. Taisus there says this?
No, he says something else. He says
What does he say?
on the other page.
Taisus over here. Interesting. Interesting. But over here, oh, very good. Beautiful. Okay, there's a long thesis. I'll just speak out what he says. I've underlined some key lines. I'll read it to you in a moment. Thesis says, Rashi, why do you have to say your pshat? Emes v'shalom oyavoy means what? The way I teached it the first time. Has to be peaceful. So why Rashi coming along and saying it's poisonous? Here's. It's not peaceful because it's prickly. End of story. Tais is very bothered. Tais quotes Rashi and he says, Rashi, you made up this reason. Why did you need to say this reason, even if it wasn't poisonous? And now that's very gishmak. But Yaakov's pointing out, when you look at the bottom of Amud Aleph, Tais says, you know why Rava didn't say it before, 2 lines to the bottom? Rava lo hayasham. Rava wasn't there. Because Taisus learns that this reason does apply really over there. So Taisus bothered. So why before did you say only a bias teretz? Punkt. Rava wasn't in the base magistrate that day. Pardon my French. You know what he's saying? Yeah, it's a single. Yeah, it's a single shver. What do you mean? Yeah, who cares if he was there all the time? We have. Yeah, no, yeah, very good.
Get with the times. I have an issue with the lashon.
Which is the last?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
like MS and like Shalom. Like Shalom, I'm not going to argue.
You're saying why is it not MS?
Like MS, the
Very
whole
good.
lashon is
Oh,
fits
oh.
between the two things.
Oh, very good. So the chayro, what you see over here is that the definition of MS is not necessarily peace, not necessarily truth, excuse me. MS is nachon, is correct. We translate MS as to be truthful, but it's not really the translation. Because something could be MS, but chayro, that's what it is. But I understand your kasha, and this is, you have to look in the Heligur of Hirsch, find out where MS comes from. Oh, very good. So you're asking a more fundamental kasha. Anytime we have 2 psukim, why do they each have their own pasuk? That's a good kasha also. Yeah, according to Taisus that they're saying the exact same thing. It's also interesting. They're both psukim. One's in Mishlei, one's in Zachariah. It's a good kasha.
Saying one's referring to Lulav and one's for Hadas.
Yeah.
Why is Mishnah looping together?
That is interesting.
Pretty much very similar question.
Almost like that, almost identical. So l'chayr, this falls into the codification or the codification of Mishnayis, how Rav Yudah Nasi, Ravina Ravashi, they wrote it down. They l'chayr wrote things in just the greatest way to memorize it, because everything was Baal Peh. So they l'chayr felt that there's a ma'ila in putting them each separate. But you're right. You could easily anticipate other areas. We're learning Baba Kam and Yeshiva. Over there, you have, all the Nezikim together. Like, why not? Why doesn't it have one mission about Bar, one mission about Shar? Arbavis Nezikim. It's true. Yes, you could cash. I'm not giving you a good teretz, but inachanam. Okay, let's go a little bit weiter. Taner Rabban. Taner Rabban on 3 lines into the wide lines. Kalua. What does kalua mean? Kimin kliya, similar to a kliya. Now we don't know what that is. V'doime lisharsheres. Shalsheles. Thank you. What's a shalsheles? Chain. Very good. It means everything is intertwined. A shalsheles, the pieces are braided together. So kalua, when something is braided, we're learning that the 3 have to somewhat be interconnected. And now we're gonna have to see what exactly that means. Zehu adas. So now we're gonna have different ways of learning. What? So kliya, l'chayr is another word, and the Gemara is teaching a kliya as a shalsheles. It's exactly what the Gemara is doing. Kalua means kmin kliya, like a braid, which is like a braid. That's what the Gemara does. Different words meaning a similar. Rav Elazar ben Yaakov Aimer anafetz avois. Another. So till now, so far, all we've learned about the Hadas is the leaves. Is that we're holding in on this 3-pronged leaf story. Rav Elazar ben Yaakov is a new pshat. A very geshmak pshat, rather. Anafetz avois has to be a tree. Shetam eitzai, the taste of the tree. Upiryoi, and the fruit is shaveh. And the oimer zehu hadas. Apparently, if you chomped into a hadas leaf, that's an interesting question. I'm assuming the leaf, but I hear.
I heard the berry.
The berry is an aberration. The berries are not supposed to be there.
I understand, but after
You're saying what else did it mean? Period.
It can't be.
Yes, you're saying very good. You're saying very good.
So you don't want them on them for the mitzvah, but that's still
Saying very good.
identified of
You're saying very good. Maybe. I don't have a teretz. You're saying very good. We have to. No one quotes this. Everyone takes this pasha that eight's in period. No one really says anything over here. Right. You're saying it's pasha. It means the berry.
Just because we don't want it on the
I'm not arguing with you. I mean, I'm not arguing without seeing anyone that argues. But
means the hadas and berry as opposed to the tree.
No, that's what they're saying. Right. That's what they're saying.
Tree itself.
No. Eight is the tree.
Right.
Which, by the way, this is going to be the bracha las and lavai that we know before Adam Rishon Eif and Eitz Hadas. All the bark tasted like the berry. So chayra, that's why there's something special about Hadas. Hadas, is the fragrance, and Hadas is reich Gan Eden. A lot of this Torah has to do with this nikuda that it's still tapped into Adam Rishon Kodim Achet. But okay, that's for Machshav and not for now. Tana, we learned in a right Mishnah, eats avos kosher. Now, this line over here is what causes all our complications on our hadas. Says the Gemara, if it's braided, it's kosher. If it's not braided, it's possible. Hechidami avos. What does it mean braided? Amar Rav Yehuda vudekaimi. It has to be tlasa tarfi bikina, standing in clusters of 3. So literally what this means is you have to have 3 leaves coming out of the exact same point. That's a hadas. So we're all saying, well, of course, right? Aren't all our hadas in that way? If you were to look carefully at your hadas, and they are not that way. They are not at all that way. Halavai, you should get 1 or 2 rows that are mamish coming out of the same point. What are most of ours? Rav Kahana Amar look weiter. Afilu trei v'chad. 2 and 1. 2 coming out of 1 point and 1 leaf coming out of another point. Ravacha Breder Rabba Mahader Atrei v'chad. He looked particularly for those that were coming out of Mahader. He went after Atrei v'chad. Why? Hoyel, since v'nothing mipubin Rav Kahana. He wanted to fulfill the words of Rav Kahana, so he looked particularly for 2 and 1. And Amrle Mar Bar Meimel Rav Ashi Abba. Lahu hadas, my father, that hadas, shoite karile. Abo lahu hadas, shoite karile. He called that a 2 and 1 hadas shoite, which is not a good hadas. So this, if you ever wonder why sometimes they sell hadasim for very expensive, it's to get mamish the shita. And we're going to see, maybe it's in a right majority, but the spitz, as you can imagine, the best is to have every single leaf 3 coming out of 1 point. And this is the reason why some opinions hold, if it's not that way, it's possible. No, hafuch. He said a 2 and 1 is a hadas shoita. He didn't like those hadasim. Lahu, Rashi says. No, I understand what you're saying. Rashi answers your kasha. Yeah, Rashi comes to answer. You're right. He could have read it the other way. That's what it means. Let's stop over here. We read that was a lot. A lot of the reading was repetitive. But let's try to get it's later. Okay, see how Tishma. We'll get some good chazara. We'll go weiter in Mirza Hashem.